Thank you for the introduction. Thank you very much, everyone. Good evening. Trust wherever you're up to, whatever you're up to, you are doing well. It's a privilege, and therefore I'm grateful for the opportunity to share the evening with you, to share stories, because from stories comes great things. The shared word created the world. The shared word changes the world. The shared word actually determines what the future is. So the opportunity to share a story, if only one or two people here get just one or two lessons from this evening, that would be an evening well spent. So extremely grateful to get this opportunity. And let me then thank FPKE, not just for this evening, but for the great work you do to bring finance professionals together. Because as we say in Safaricom, when you come together, great things happen. The collective is always bigger than the individual aggregate of the single ones. And also to build a pipeline, a path, and to create hope for all those who seek to rise beyond just the ordinary and pursue excellence in a field in finance and to serve society is a great opportunity. So extremely delighted to then be coming today to share with you. When I spoke to JB earlier about this, I told him I will do not even a single presentation or slides, but we'll have authentic conversation so that we can speak about, from my story, you hopefully can get the challenges and the joys. And that's why I picked up Babs and Backwards, which is a title Tom Shinty, who was the managing editor of The Nation in the 90s, used to call his Friday column in the days before internet and before Twitter, X, and all the short messaging. So newspapers were the newspapers for real. They used to present news, and you used to pick up the good and the bad of the week. And in any journey, in any life, in any bit of life, there will always be the good and the bad that we carry on. And it's important that we reflect on it as a journey, because that's the biggest bit. We are all in a rush to get somewhere. Those in traffic now are trying to get home. Those in school are trying to complete courses. Those doing projects are hoping to complete those projects and get them done. And we are always as if we're trying to rush to the summit. But ultimately, actually, what we are doing all the time is to pause and enjoy the journey. So take a moment and enjoy the journey. Make sure the journey is what is enjoyable, because that is where life is lived. It's actually, you don't know when it starts, you don't know when it ends, and we enjoy that way. So looking forward to a good conversation, which hopefully at the end of the day will let you know a bit about me and my story. And also we can then have a bit about questions about the challenges and lives we face. So if you allow me to start by referring to all of you ladies and gentlemen in the two words I like, my fellow accountants and my fellow citizens. Because in those two, I presume, if you're not of the same profession, clearly we're citizens of the world in one way or the other. But in that high regard, in those two terms also, is the highest ideal of why we exist. Because as citizens, we have inherited the world, if you like, from those who came before. If you really look at it keenly, we've actually borrowed it from those we'll hand it over to. Because all of those of you with children somehow care about their future more than you care about the past of your parents. And a lot of things you do are about that future. A lot of things we do every day. A lot of the reasons why we work is to get our children to school, to give them a chance, to prepare them, to train them. So there's an inherent desire for the future to be okay. So we've actually therefore borrowed this world from those we inherit to. So therefore, as citizens of the world, there's a calling, there's a purpose to which then we have to hand over the world to everyone else. And the roles you hold, whether at work, at home, everywhere else, any role you hold, always remember the highest duty of it is to hand it over to the successor. Because then ultimately, you've then carried on the legacy of humanity existing. And that's why I like referring to you as my fellow accountants and my fellow citizens. Accountancy is super close to me, extremely close to my heart, because it's a chosen career. It's a career of choice, and for a reason. It's a strong belief that with accountancy, a lot of the things I live for can actually be achieved and can be done. And I'm extremely grateful then in a forum like this to thank those who then got me into accountancy. Like everything else, there will be many choices you make. There'll be a bigger force, a bigger power that gets you there. Some call it luck. Those who believe, like myself, believe that is God, and that's why we're always grateful to God and start with God Almighty, because it's a grace. There's a part of grace that is not of you, that God's favor be on you, and that's why we always pray that may God bless you and have the favor on you, because there's a part that is just favor that then comes into you. None of you chose who your parents are. That's a favor we all get. Many of you don't choose who you meet in life. You might choose if they stay, but you don't choose who you meet most of the times. So that there are a lot of things that happen to you beyond the control of that bit. And so today, I want us to just have a brief conversation about what I'm calling It Won't Be Long. And I trust you, it won't be long. The conversation won't be long. But the title is also It Won't Be Long. And the context of it won't be long, it won't be long. Because on this stage, if you're lucky, you'll stay here for about 120 years in the world, and that you're extremely lucky. Many will exit between 70 and 100. Many exit even before that. So it's not exactly a long time that you have here. It's not, we don't have a very long time on this stage. And therefore, when you think about the things you do and think about the broader concept, you are really a speck on a speck for real. We are a very small part of a very big universe. But that time that we are here, there's a purpose and a why for it. And that's why I'm saying it won't be long. And even the career journey, it doesn't get long. So if you're building a career in finance, in accountancy, in any field you're building, you will get there. It won't be long. The whole of your time in the universe is not long. So it won't be long is what I want us to speak about. How short it has been to build a career, how short time we have to make an impact, and what a short life we have to then get on to what you want to achieve and look at it like that. So my life has not been long. That's actually the context of what I want to say. If Goldenberg hadn't happened, most likely I would have ended up as a lawyer. Because after all the youthful pursuits of I'll be a doctor, I'll pursue medicine, I then settled to do law, deeply inspired by a lot of young lawyers who, as Kenya turned up to multipartyism and democracy in the late 80s, early 90s, left their career, fairly young lawyers who pushed away, left what were fairly their good careers to pursue a public cause. So I was inspired by a very big group of those young lawyers, and I was keen, as a result, because of their contribution to country, to actually pursue law, and that is what I said. But then in between, the Goldenberg had happened. Goldenberg was so significant that our school fees increased 4 times in 1 year. That's how significant Goldenberg was. 10% of our classmates had to drop out of school because the fee could not be paid. It was a big, Goldenberg was a significant occurrence. Goldenberg, for those who don't recall, who came in the time, was a scandal of fake gold in 1990, 1991. It was a fake gold scam where the export compensation was being given for gold exports, and therefore a scheme was hatched that Kenya was actually exporting gold, but there had no gold mines at all. And certificates were given, and significant amounts of money went in, was paid out of the economy. And as a result, the economy went flat broke. It was so bad that to clear it up, the T-bill rates went up as high as 70%. You could actually borrow money from a bank and put them in T-bills those seasons. I mean, we almost got that in the last few months, but you didn't get to that level to clean up Goldenberg. So it was probably the biggest financial scam we've had since it was founded as a country, since we got our independence. So it was major. So because of that Goldenberg, when I got the link by chance, remember what I told you about a lot of things you don't control, and met one of the then CEOs of accounting firms as a high school student, who then spoke to us of how accountancy can unravel some of the challenges of society. It then, that's the time that in a big way, I then chose to pursue a career in accountancy, because I then believed that the cause for serving the country could then be served, dealing with the country's biggest challenges, corruption, and almost getting broke as a country that we had then could be done by that bit. And I built it up then.